Olivia West stood at the window of the space station and looked at the stars. 3 years of war with the aliens had left her tired. As a lieutenant in Earth Special Forces, she had fought in many battles against the Zalarian Empire. The aliens had attacked Earth's outer colonies without warning. No one knew why. Olivia was tall and strong, with short brown hair and eyes that had seen too much fighting. Her uniform showed the marks of her many battles. She had medals she never wore. What good were medals when so many of her friends were dead? "Lieutenant West, report to command immediately," said a voice over the speakers. Olivia sighed and turned away from the window. The hallways of the UES Valiant were cold and gray. People rushed past her with worried faces. Something big was happening. "Admiral?" Reyes waited for her in the command center. His face was serious. "West, we have a situation," he said. "A Zalarian flagship has appeared over Earth." Olivia felt her heart beat faster. "Are they attacking?" "No. They sent a message. Just one sentence. Send your finest warrior." Olivia frowned. "What does that mean?" "We don't know, but the United Earth Defense Council has decided to respond. They're sending someone to meet with the aliens." He paused. "They've chosen you." "Me?" "Why?" Olivia asked. "I'm a soldier, not a diplomat." "That's exactly why. They asked for a warrior, not a talker. Your combat record is the best we have. If this is some kind of trap, you have the best chance of surviving." Olivia didn't feel ready for this. How could anyone be ready? But she nodded anyway. "When do I leave?" "Now." "There's a shuttle waiting." 2 hours later, Olivia sat alone in a small shuttle, heading toward the massive alien ship. It was huge, at least 10 times bigger than Earth's largest vessel. It didn't look like it was built. It looked like it had grown with curves and shapes that seemed alive. Olivia checked her gun one more time. It probably wouldn't help if things went bad, but it made her feel better. The shuttle docked with a soft bump. The door opened. She took a deep breath and stepped out. The inside of the alien ship was strange. The walls seemed to pulse with light, and the air smelled like nothing on Earth. 2 tall aliens waited for her. Their skin changed colors as they moved, shifting from blue to purple. They had no hair, and their eyes had vertical pupils like a cat's. They didn't speak but motioned for her to follow. Olivia kept her hand near her gun as they led her through long hallways. The floor felt soft beneath her boots, almost like walking on living tissue. Finally, they reached a large door that opened on its own. Olivia stepped into what had to be a throne room. The ceiling was high and seemed to show the stars outside, though she knew that couldn't be possible. The walls glowed with soft blue light, and there, on a throne made of what looked like crystal, sat the alien queen. She was taller than the others, with a crown of glowing tendrils around her head. Her face was almost human-like, but too perfect, too symmetrical. Her skin shifted colors with her breathing, rippling from deep purple to bright blue. When she looked at Olivia, it felt like she could see inside her mind. "Lieutenant Olivia West," the queen said, but her mouth didn't move. The words seemed to form directly in Olivia's head. "I am Queen Nalara of the Zalarian Empire." Olivia stood straight and tried to look brave. "Why have you called me here? Why, have you been attacking our colonies?" The queen stood and walked toward her. She moved like water, smooth and flowing. "Your species is young but strong. You fight well. We respect strength. We fight because you attacked us," Olivia said. "Queen," Nalara circled around her. "Yes, we needed to test you to see if you were worthy." "Worthy of what?" "Of survival." The queen stopped in front of her. "Your people call this a war. For us, it has been a trial. And you, Olivia West, have proven most interesting of all." Olivia didn't like the way the queen said her name as if she owned it. "What do you want from me?" "I have studied your history, your battles, your victories, the way you saved your comrades on the moon of Titan, the time you held off 50 of my warriors alone at the Proxima colony." The queen's eyes narrowed. You are special among your kind. I just did my job, Olivia said. No, you did more. Queen. Nalara raised a hand and the air around them filled with images. Olivia saw herself in battle, saw moments from fights she barely remembered. The Queen had been watching her all along. My scientists have made an interesting discovery. Our species share genetic markers that should not be possible. We are connected somehow, by design or by fate. Olivia didn't understand. What does that mean? It means, said the Queen, her voice growing stronger in Olivia's mind, that the ancient prophecy can be fulfilled. A joining of our kinds to end the bloodshed. A joining? You mean like an alliance? Queen Nalara's lips curved in what might have been a smile. I mean a union. A marriage in your terms. Olivia took a step back. Marriage? To whom? The Queen's tendrils flared with light. To me, Lieutenant West, I demand your hand in marriage, as the condition for peace between our worlds. Olivia felt the room spin around her. This couldn't be happening. And if I refuse? She managed to ask. The Queen's face hardened. Then the war continues. And next time, we will not hold back. Your Earth will burn. Olivia stared at the alien Queen, trying to understand how this had happened. One human to save billions. A soldier turned into a bride. I need time to think, she said. 3 of your Earth days, said Queen Nalara. Then I require your answer. The Queen turned and walked back to her throne. Return to your people. Tell them my terms. Peace through union or complete destruction. The choice is yours, Olivia West. The guards appeared again, ready to take her back to the shuttle. As Olivia turned to leave, she couldn't help but wonder if she had been chosen for this all along, if every battle she had fought had led her to this moment. And what would Earth do now that the fate of humanity rested on her answer to the strangest proposal in history? Olivia's shuttle landed back on Earth at the main United Defense headquarters in what used to be Geneva. Her head was still spinning from Queen Nalara's proposal. Marriage to an alien ruler, or the destruction of Earth. What kind of choice was that? Admiral Reyes and the Defense Council were waiting for her. 10 serious faces around a large table ready to hear what the aliens wanted. Olivia stood at attention, though her legs felt weak. Lieutenant West, report, Admiral Reyes said. Olivia took a deep breath. The Zilarian Queen Nalara has offered peace. She paused. In exchange for marriage to a human soldier, to me. The room erupted in voices, some angry, some confused. Admiral Reyes banged his hand on the table for quiet. Marriage? What does that even mean to their species? Asked General Kim, her face twisted in disgust. I don't know, Olivia admitted. She didn't explain the details. Maya Patterson, the head of Earth's diplomatic corps, leaned forward. This is absurd. We can't agree to this. It's blackmail. It's also our first real chance for peace, said Dr. Samantha Kelly. She was Earth's top expert on alien biology. Lieutenant, did the Queen mention anything about genetic compatibility? Olivia nodded. Yes. She said our species share genetic markers that shouldn't be possible. She called it a joining of our kinds. Dr. Kelly's eyes widened. That's incredible. If true, it suggests our species might be connected somehow. This could be the scientific discovery of the century. Who cares about science? Shouted Colonel Harris. This is about our survival. Olivia stood silently as they argued. Some wanted to reject the offer immediately. Others thought they should pretend to accept, then attack. A few believed they should consider it seriously. What about what Lieutenant West wants? Dr. Kelly finally asked. This affects her most of all. All eyes turned to Olivia. What did she want? She hadn't had time to think about it. I want to save Earth, she said simply. But I need to understand what I'm agreeing to. I need to speak with the Queen again, privately. The Council didn't like it, but they had little choice. Earth's defenses were weak after years of war. If the Zalarians attacked with their full force, humanity wouldn't stand a chance. You have our permission to continue negotiations, Admiral Reyes said finally. But be careful, West, we don't know what game they're playing. That night, Olivia couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling of her small room, thinking about Queen Nalara. There had been something in the alien's eyes. Something Olivia couldn't name. Interest, respect, or just the cold calculation of a predator. In the morning, Olivia returned to the shuttle. This time, she brought Dr. Kelly with her. I want to know exactly what this marriage means, Olivia told the scientist. Biologically, politically, everything. Dr. Kelly nodded. She was a small woman with bright eyes that missed nothing. I'll ask the right questions. But Olivia, she hesitated. Are you really considering this? Olivia looked out the window, at Earth below them, blue and green and beautiful. What choice do I have? The alien ship looked different in Earth's daylight. The surface shimmered like oil on water, changing colors as they approached. When they docked, the same guards met them, but this time they seemed curious about Dr. Kelly. Queen Nalara received them in a smaller room. It was more like a garden, with strange plants that moved slightly even though there was no wind. The Queen wore different armor now, lighter, more elegant. You have brought a scientist, the Queen said in their minds. Good. You have questions. Many, Dr. Kelly said, recovering quickly from the shock of mental communication. What exactly does this marriage entail? What would be expected of Lieutenant West? The Queen's tendrils rippled. She would live with me, learn our ways. In time, perhaps we would attempt to create offspring. Olivia felt her face grow hot. Offspring, is that even possible? Our scientists believe so, Queen Nalara said. The genetic compatibility is remarkable, but that is not the primary purpose. The union itself is what matters, a binding of our species through its finest examples. Doctor. Kelly took notes rapidly on her tablet. And what about Lieutenant West's freedom? Would she be a prisoner, a hostage? The Queen's colors darkened. She would be my consort, respected, protected, given authority among my people. And if it doesn't work out? Olivia asked. What if we don't get along? For the first time, Queen Nalara seemed amused. Marriage is not taken lightly among the Zalarian. It is for life. But you would not be mistreated, Olivia West. That is not our way. Dr. Kelly spent hours asking questions about Zalarian biology, culture, and expectations. The Queen answered patiently, though sometimes her colors would shift rapidly, showing what might be irritation. Finally, Dr. Kelly ran out of questions. I need to analyze this information, she told Olivia. But from what I can tell, they're serious about this. And the genetic compatibility is, well, it's revolutionary if true. Olivia nodded and turned to the Queen. I need to speak with you, alone. Dr. Kelly looked worried but returned to the shuttle. The guards left the room. For the first time, Olivia was truly alone with Queen Nalara. Why me? Olivia asked simply. Out of all humans, why choose me? The Queen moved closer. She smelled like ozone and something sweet Olivia couldn't identify. Because you fight not from hatred, but from duty. Because you value life, even your enemies' lives. I have watched. You spare my warriors when you could have killed them. Olivia remembered those moments. She had never killed when there was another option. That's just being human. No, the Queen said. Many of your kind kill without thought. You are different. She reached out, almost touching Olivia's face, then stopped. And there is something else. A connection I felt when I first saw you fight. As if I had known you before. It was strange, but Olivia felt it too. A pull toward this alien being that made no sense. This is crazy, she whispered. Perhaps, said Queen Nalara. But sometimes fate is strange. I need to know one more thing, Olivia said. Is this truly about peace? Or do you have another reason for wanting this marriage? The Queen's colors shifted rapidly, showing emotion Olivia couldn't read. Peace is my primary goal. But yes, there are other factors. Political considerations within my empire that you do not yet understand. At least she was honest about that. I haven't decided yet, Olivia said. You have one more day, the Queen reminded her. Choose wisely, Olivia West. The future of both our peoples depends on it. Back on Earth, the debate raged on. The Defense Council was split. Some saw the marriage as their only hope for peace. Others called it surrender. It's your decision, Lieutenant, Admiral Reyes told her. But know that whatever you choose, Earth stands with you. Olivia spent her last night on Earth walking alone, by a lake. The moon reflected on the water, peaceful and bright. Tomorrow she would have to give her answer to an alien queen. Her life would never be the same, no matter what she decided. As the sun rose, she made her choice. Olivia stood before Queen Nalara in the crystal throne room. The 3 days were up. It was time to give her answer. I accept your proposal, she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. I will marry you for the sake of peace between our worlds. The Queen's tendrils glowed brighter. A wise choice, Olivia West. The ceremony will take place in 7 Earth days. Until then, you may travel between our ships to make preparations. This was more freedom than Olivia had expected. You're letting me return to Earth? Of course. You are to be my consort, not my prisoner. Trust must begin somewhere. The Queen's colors shifted to a calm blue. But know that if you are planning deception, it will mean war. Olivia nodded. I understand. No tricks. Over the next week, Olivia shuttled between Earth and the Zalarian flagship. On Earth, she worked with Dr. Kelly to understand the alien biology and customs better. On the Queen's ship, she learned about Zalarian traditions from servants assigned to her. Earth's leaders used this time to negotiate the details of the peace treaty. The aliens would stop all attacks and withdraw from the colonies they had taken. In return, humans would recognize Zalarian territory and establish trade. It all seemed too easy, too perfect. 4 days before the wedding, Olivia was in her quarters, on the Zalarian ship when her Earth communicator buzzed. It was Zoe Franklin, her friend from communications. Liv, something's not right, Zoe whispered. I've been monitoring the aliens' transmissions. There's a lot they're not telling us. Olivia looked around nervously. What do you mean? Their empire isn't united. I've detected messages from rebel factions. They're fighting among themselves. This changed everything. Can you send me the data? Already did. Check your secure folder. After ending the call, Olivia accessed the files Zoe had sent. They were translations of Zalarian communications. As she read, a different picture emerged. Queen Nalara's rule was being challenged by a faction of her own people. They called her a heretic for seeking peace with humans. The next day, Olivia met with Kate Brennan, Earth's top spy. They met in a secure room deep inside Earth's headquarters. What have you found? Olivia asked. Kate pulled up images on a screen. These are classified documents from our own government. Some of our officials have known about the Zalarians for decades, long before the war started. Olivia stared at the evidence. How is that possible? 20 years ago, our exploration ships found artifacts on a distant planet. They brought them back for study. Kate pointed to images of strange crystal objects. What they didn't know was that the planet was sacred to the Zalarians. Taking those artifacts was like stealing from their church. So the war started because we stole from them? Olivia felt sick, basically. And some people knew it but kept it secret because they wanted to study the technology. Olivia needed to confront Queen Nalara with this information. But how? If she revealed what she knew, would the Queen call off the peace? That evening, she requested a private audience with the Queen. They met in the garden room, away from guards and advisors. You seem troubled, Olivia West, the Queen said. Olivia took a deep breath. I know about the civil war in your empire, and I know why you really attacked Earth. The Queen's colors flashed red briefly before settling. You have been investigating. Yes, and I need the truth. All of it. Queen Nalara was silent for a long moment. Then her shoulders dropped slightly. Very well. Yes, there is conflict among my people. A faction opposes my rule. They believe I am too progressive. And the marriage? Is that just to strengthen your position? It serves multiple purposes, the Queen admitted. Our ancient prophecies speak of a union between species. By fulfilling this prophecy, I secure my legitimacy. But the peace offer is genuine, Olivia. My opponents would destroy your kind entirely. Olivia paced the room. And what about the artifacts? The ones humans took from your sacred world? The Queen's eyes widened slightly. You know of this? Yes. Some of our leaders kept it secret, as did some of mine. Queen Nalara sighed, a strangely human gesture. The artifacts are part of our history. They tell the story of our creation and our purpose in the universe. Their theft was painful. For the first time, Olivia saw the Queen as vulnerable, as someone who, like her, was caught in events beyond her control. What happens if I walk away now? Olivia asked. If I call off the wedding? My enemies will use it as proof of my failure. They will overthrow me and the war will continue until your species is extinct. The Queen moved closer. I do not wish for that outcome, Olivia. Despite how our meeting began, I have come to respect you. There was something in the way she said respect that made Olivia wonder if there was more to it. Could an alien queen actually care for a human? I'll keep my word, Olivia said finally. But from now on, complete honesty between us. No more secrets. Agreed. The Queen's tendrils relaxed. There is one more thing you should know. The ceremony creates a bond that is more than symbolic. Among my people, marriage joins minds as well as bodies. What does that mean exactly? A connection. Thoughts, feelings, sometimes shared between mates. It is difficult to explain to one who has not experienced it. Olivia wasn't sure how to feel about that. Sharing her mind with an alien queen, it was frightening, but also fascinating. Will it hurt? She asked. No, but it will change. You change us both. Back on Earth, preparations for the ceremony continued. The location had been set. The International Space Station, neutral territory between Earth and the Zalarian fleet. Dr. Kelly called Olivia to her lab the night before the wedding. I've been studying the Queen's biology, she said. The mental connection she mentioned is real. It works through quantum entanglement at the neural level. In simple terms, Doc, your brains will sync up in certain ways. You'll be able to sense each other's emotions, maybe even thoughts. Dr. Kelly handed her a small device. This is a neural inhibitor. If the connection becomes too much, this will block it temporarily. Olivia took the device. Do you think I'll need it? I don't know, but I'd feel better if you had it just in case. That night, Olivia barely slept. Tomorrow she would marry an alien queen to save Earth. Her life as she knew it would end. A new one would begin. And despite everything, despite all the fear and doubt, a small part of her was curious. What would it be like to be bonded to someone so different? To share thoughts with a being whose mind had centuries of alien experiences? As the sun rose on her wedding day, Olivia dressed in the special uniform created for the occasion. It combined human military styling with Zalarian colors and symbols. Ready? Asked Admiral Reyes, who would escort her to the ceremony. As I'll ever be, Olivia replied, and stepped toward her new future. The International Space Station had been transformed. Half of it gleamed with Earth decorations, white flowers and blue ribbons. The other half glowed with Zalarian designs, living crystal formations and pulsing lights. The two styles met in the center of the main module where the ceremony would take place. Olivia stood on the Earth side waiting. Her modified uniform felt strange. It was still military in style, but with added elements that reflected Zalarian culture, iridescent, patches that changed color with her movements and small crystal beads that caught the light. The whole world is watching, Admiral Reyes reminded her. Earth's leaders stood nearby, tense but hopeful. This marriage could end years of devastating war. No pressure, Olivia muttered. A hush fell over the crowd as Queen Nalara entered from the alien side. Olivia's breath caught in her throat. The queen wore ceremonial armor that seemed alive, shifting and flowing around her tall form. Her crown of tendrils glowed brighter than usual, and her skin pulsed with blues and purples that somehow complemented Olivia's uniform perfectly. They had planned this. Matched their outfits like a regular couple. The thought was so absurd that Olivia almost laughed. Here she was, about to marry an alien queen to save Earth, and she was thinking about coordinated wedding clothes. Queen Nalara approached slowly, her vertical pupilled eyes fixed on Olivia. They met in the center, where a human official and a Zalarian elder waited to perform the ceremony. Today we witness the union of two worlds, the human official began, a bond that will bring peace after years of conflict. The Zalarian elder spoke next, his words translated by a device for the humans to hear. Two bloodlines join. Two destinies merge, as it was foretold in the ancient texts. Olivia barely heard the words. She was watching Queen Nalara, noticing small details she hadn't seen before. The way the queen's tendrils moved slightly with her breathing, the depth in her alien eyes. Was there nervousness there too? Lieutenant Olivia West, the human official said, do you take Queen Nalara of the Zalarian Empire to be your lawfully wedded spouse, to honor and respect from this day forward, for as long as you both shall live? This was it. The moment that would change everything. Olivia took a deep breath. I do, she said clearly. The queen's colors brightened. The Zalarian elder turned to her. Queen Nalara of the Great Empire, do you take this human warrior to be your bonded mate, to protect and cherish through the vastness of space and time? I do, the queen said, her voice resonating in Olivia's mind. The rings, please, said the human official. This had been a point of negotiation. Humans used rings to symbolize marriage. Zalarians used a different custom involving a sharing of blood. They had compromised with special rings that contained a tiny amount of each other's DNA. Admiral Reyes handed Olivia a ring made of a strange metal that seemed to glow from within. A Zalarian attendant gave the queen a matching ring. As Olivia slipped the ring onto the queen's long, elegant finger, she noticed something odd. The queen's guards were exchanging quick glances. One touched a device on his wrist. Warning bells rang in Olivia's mind. She looked at Queen Nalara, trying to signal with her eyes that something was wrong. The queen tilted her head slightly, then her eyes widened. She had noticed it too. The Zalarian elder spoke the final words of the ceremony. With the exchange of rings, the bond is sealed. May your union bring harmony to... A loud explosion cut him off. The station shook violently. Alarms blared. We're under attack, someone shouted. Through the station's windows, Olivia saw ships appearing out of nowhere. Zalarian ships, but different from the Queen's fleet. Darker, with red lights instead of blue. Rebels, Queen Nalara hissed. They seek to stop the Union. More explosions rocked the station. Olivia grabbed the Queen's arm. We need to get to safety. But as they turned to run, the doors on the human side burst open. Colonel Diane Harper, who had strongly opposed the peace treaty, stormed in with armed soldiers. This ends now, Harper shouted. We will not surrender Earth to alien rule. It was a nightmare, attacks from both sides at once. The rebels wanted to kill the Queen. Harper wanted to stop the marriage. Queen Nalara's guards moved to protect her, raising strange weapons. Olivia found herself caught in the middle between her own people and her new wife. Stop, Olivia shouted. The ceremony is complete. Peace has been agreed. No one listened. Shots were fired. A blast from a human gun hit one of the Queen's guards. In return, a Zalarian weapon fired, sending a human soldier flying across the room. Queen Nalara pulled Olivia behind a column as chaos erupted around them. We must reach my shuttle, she said. It is our only chance. I won't leave my people. Olivia protested. If we die here, the peace dies with us, the Queen argued. Both our worlds will continue the war. She was right. Their survival was more important than fighting this battle. Through the madness, they made their way toward the Zalarian docking bay. Harper's soldiers tried to follow, but the Queen's remaining guards held them off. Just as they reached the corridor to the bay, a rebel Zalarian appeared before them. His skin was dark red, his eyes filled with hatred. Betrayer of tradition, he snarled at the Queen. You will not live to complete this abomination. He raised his weapon. The Queen pushed Olivia aside, moving faster than any human could. The rebel fired. The blast hit Queen Nalara in the shoulder. She stumbled but did not fall. Bright blue fluid leaked from the wound. Olivia didn't think. She drew her gun and fired 3 times. The rebel fell. You're hurt, Olivia said, moving to support the Queen. It is not fatal. The Queen's colors had dimmed, but her voice and Olivia's mind remained strong. We must continue. They made it to the Queen's personal shuttle, a small craft designed for speed. As they prepared to launch, more explosions shook the station. The fighting was getting worse. What about the others? Olivia asked, thinking of Admiral Reyes and the Earth delegation. My fleet will protect the station, the Queen assured her, but we must reach my flagship. From there we can end this conflict. The shuttle detached from the station and sped away. Through the view screen, Olivia saw the battle unfolding. Rebel ships attacking the Queen's fleet. Earth vessels trying to defend the station. It was all falling apart. The peace they had tried to create was shattering before it even began. They were waiting for this moment, Queen Nalara said bitterly. Both the rebels and your Colonel Harper. They planned their attacks to coincide with our wedding. Olivia felt sick. Harper never wanted peace. She lost her family in the first Zalarian attack. She wants revenge. And the rebels believe I have betrayed our ways by seeking alliance with humans. The Queen winced as she adjusted her position. Her wound was still leaking blue fluid. Let me help you, Olivia said, finding a medical kit in the shuttle's compartment. The alien anatomy was strange to her, but the wound seemed simple enough, a burn that had penetrated the Queen's outer armor. As she treated the injury, Olivia felt a strange sensation. A warmth in her mind, a presence that wasn't her own. The Queen looked at her sharply. You feel it, Queen Nalara said. The bond has begun. The mental connection? But I thought that would happen during some special part of the ceremony. The ceremony was interrupted, but the initial words were spoken. The rings were exchanged. The Queen's eyes softened. And you protected me. Chose me over your own kind. That strengthened the connection. Olivia didn't know how to feel about that. Having someone else in her mind was invasive, frightening, but also interesting. Can you read my thoughts? She asked. Not precisely. I sense your emotions, your general state. In time, with practice, the connection could grow stronger. Before Olivia could respond, a blast hit their shuttle. Alarm sounded. A rebel ship had found them. We cannot outrun them, the Queen said, moving to the controls despite her injury. We must fight. Olivia took the weapon station. The shuttle was small, but well armed. She targeted the pursuing ship and fired. Working together, they managed to damage the rebel vessel enough to escape, but their own shuttle was hit badly. Systems were failing. We won't make it to your flagship, Olivia said, checking the damage reports. No, the Queen agreed. But there is a small moon nearby. We can land there, send a distress signal. As they limped toward the moon, Olivia looked at the alien Queen beside her. Not even a day into their marriage, and they were already fighting for their lives together. Some honeymoon, she muttered. To her surprise, Queen Nalara laughed. It was a strange sound, musical and light. Indeed, Olivia West. Not quite the beginning I had planned for us. For the first time since this all began, Olivia smiled. Maybe there was hope for this strange union after all, if they survived the landing. Pain. That was the first thing Olivia felt when she woke up. Every part of her body hurt. She tried to open her eyes, but they seemed glued shut. There was a strange, thick liquid all around her. Was she drowning? No. She could breathe. The liquid filled her lungs, but somehow it provided oxygen. She forced her eyes open. Blue. Everything was blue. She was floating in some kind of tank filled with glowing blue fluid. Through the transparent walls, she could see a room with organic-looking technology. Definitely Solarian. The events came rushing back. The wedding, the attack, the shuttle, crash on the small moon. She remembered the impact, the shuttle breaking apart, Queen Nalara pulling her from the wreckage, then darkness. Where was the Queen now? Was she alive? As if in answer to her thought, a door in the strange room opened. Queen Nalara entered, her movements graceful despite the bandage visible on her shoulder. She approached the tank and placed a hand on the surface. "You are awake," the Queen's voice spoke in Olivia's mind, clearer than ever before. "Good." I was concerned. Olivia tried to speak, but the liquid filled her mouth. To her surprise, she found she could respond mentally. "Where am I? What happened?" "You are in a healing chamber aboard my flagship. Your injuries were severe. The regenerative fluid is repairing your body." "How long have I been here?" 3 Earth days. 3 days. The fighting? Earth? What happened? The Queen's colors shifted to a calmer blue. "The immediate crisis has passed. After our disappearance, both sides believed we had been killed. It changed things." She explained that Earth's leaders had blamed Colonel Harper for the attack. Harper had been arrested. Meanwhile, the rebel Zolarians had retreated, believing they had succeeded in killing their queen. "When my flagship revealed I was alive and had rescued you, it created an opportunity. Your Admiral Reyes and my High Commander worked together to establish a temporary truce." Olivia felt relief wash over her. "So the peace is holding?" "Tentatively. But there is much work to be done." The Queen's tendrils moved in what Olivia was beginning to recognize as thoughtfulness. The ceremony was completed, but interrupted. Some questioned the validity of our union. That was the least of Olivia's concerns right now. "How badly was I hurt?" "You had internal injuries, broken bones. Your survival was weighing uncertain for a time." The Queen's colors darkened. "I could feel your pain through our bond. It was distressing." Had the alien Queen been worried about her? The thought was strange, but somehow comforting. "The healing is nearly complete," Queen Nalara continued. "Soon you can leave the chamber." Later that day, Olivia emerged from the blue liquid. It slid off her skin without leaving any residue. She found her body completely healed, not even a scar remaining from the crash. Solarian medicine was incredible. Queen Nalara provided her with new clothes, a combination of human and Zolarian, styles that somehow worked together. As Olivia dressed, she noticed the wedding ring still on her finger. It seemed to glow brighter now. "The bond has strengthened while you healed," the Queen explained, noticing her gaze. "The proximity and my concern for you enhanced it." "I can feel you," Olivia admitted. "In my mind, like a presence in the background." "And I you. It is unusual for the connection to form so quickly." The Queen studied her. "Perhaps because of the danger we faced together." Over the next few days, Olivia learned more about the mental bond. It wasn't mind-reading exactly, more like an awareness of each other's emotional states, stronger when they were physically close. Sometimes images or impressions would pass between them, especially when one of them felt something strongly. It was invasive but also intimate in a way Olivia had never experienced. The Queen was alien in so many ways, yet through the bond Olivia began to understand her better. "Your people are so young," Queen Nalara told her one evening as they looked at the stars from the ship's observation deck. "But so vibrant. You feel everything so intensely." "And yours are ancient," Olivia replied. "I can sense it sometimes, the weight of all that history." They had begun to have real conversations, learning about each other's worlds. The Queen was curious about Earth, about human customs and art and music. Olivia wanted to know about the Zolarian homeworld, their science, their beliefs. A week after the crash, they received word that the rebel faction wanted to meet. They had not known their queen was alive and now sought reconciliation. They will not accept our marriage easily, Queen Nalara warned. They believe I have broken our oldest traditions. What will you tell them? The truth, that the prophecy spoke of union between species, and we have fulfilled it. The queen's colors shifted to a determined purple. But I will need you by my side, Olivia West, as my true consort, not just in name. The meeting took place on the flagship. The rebel leader, Morvath, was tall even for a Zolarian, with dark red skin and cold eyes. He bowed reluctantly to his queen. You live. That is unexpected, he said. As does my consort, Queen Nalara replied, gesturing to Olivia. Morvath's eyes narrowed. The human, yes, the cause of all this trouble. Olivia felt the queen's anger through their bond, but Nalara's voice remained calm. The human has a name. Lieutenant Olivia West of Earth, my chosen mate. The negotiations were tense. Morvath and his followers believed the marriage was an abomination. They wanted it annulled, the queen to return to their traditional ways. The ancient texts clearly state that the ruler must take a mate of pure bloodline, Morvath argued. You misinterpret the texts, Queen Nalara countered. They speak of a joining between stars, between worlds. What is purer than that? The debate continued for hours. Olivia mostly listened, speaking only when addressed directly. This was Zolarian politics, and she was still learning. Finally, Queen Nalara made a proposal. Let us consult the Oracle. If the Oracle accepts our union, you must accept it too. This silenced the rebels. Olivia sent a questioning thought through their bond. The Oracle? A living repository of our history and laws, the Queen explained mentally. Very old, very respected. Its word is final in matters of tradition. The next day they traveled to a small moon where the Oracle resided. It was a strange being, neither fully plant nor animal, that lived in a cave of crystal. Its body glowed with the same blue light as the healing fluid. Olivia stood beside Queen Nalara as the Oracle examined them. It had no eyes that she could see, but she felt it studying them somehow. You seek my judgment on your union, the Oracle's voice echoed in all their minds. A joining never before seen in our history. Yes, Ancient One, the Queen replied respectfully. The Oracle extended tendrils of light that touched both Olivia and Nalara. Olivia felt a strange presence in her mind, different from the Queen's, older and vaster. The bond between you is real, the Oracle announced, formed not just by ceremony but by choice, by sacrifice, by protecting each other when you could have chosen otherwise. Morvath started to object, but the Oracle silenced him with a gesture. The prophecy speaks of union between stars, of bloodlines joining to create something new. The Oracle's light brightened. This is that union, the first of many bridges between worlds. The rebels couldn't argue with the Oracle. Reluctantly, they accepted its judgment. The marriage was valid. The peace would hold. As they returned to the flagship, Olivia felt relief through their bond. That went well, she said. Better than expected, Queen Nalara agreed. But there is still much to do. Your people must accept our union as well. Returning to Earth was strange. People stared at Olivia as she walked with Queen Nalara to the Defense Council chambers. Some looked afraid, others curious. A few seemed hopeful. Admiral Reyes greeted them formally. Lieutenant West, Queen Nalara, we are pleased to see you both recovered from your ordeal. The Earth leaders had questions, concerns. What would this marriage mean for Earth? Would humans be subject to Zolarian rule? No, Queen Nalara assured them. This is an alliance of equals, a beginning, not an end. They negotiated for days. Trade agreements, cultural exchanges, shared defense protocols. Through it all, Olivia and Nalara worked together, their bond growing stronger. They could now communicate mentally with ease, sharing thoughts and impressions. 1 year later, Olivia stood with Queen Nalara at the opening of the first joint human-Zalarian outpost. Built at the edge of the solar system, it symbolized the new relationship between their species. "Did you plan for all this when you first demanded to marry me?" Olivia asked, as they watched human and Zalarian engineers working side by side. Queen's colors shifted to the soft purple that Olivia now knew meant amusement. "I planned for peace, for alliance. I did not plan for—" She paused. "For what?" Olivia prompted. "For caring about you," Nalara admitted. That was unexpected. Through their bond, Olivia felt the truth of it. What had begun as political necessity had become something more. Not love exactly, not in the human sense, but a deep connection, a genuine partnership. "I didn't plan for it either," Olivia said, "but here we are." They watched as a human child approached a young Zalarian offering a toy. The alien child responded with curiosity, its skin changing to match the toy's color. "The beginning of something new," Queen Nalara said. Olivia nodded. "Something better." She thought about how strange life was, how one moment, one choice could change everything. She had been a soldier fighting a war. Now she was a bridge between worlds, married to an alien queen.